Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. I'm Booker T, six-time world champ, two-time Hall of Famer. Got my man Brad Gilmore here with me. As always, guys, we're going to be talking about the news and topics going down inside the world of pro wrestling as well as combat sports. But before we even get started, Brad, how you doing, man? It's been rainy day today, man. What's going on, dog? How you feel?
I'm doing good, Book. Yeah, I just hope that our city makes it through. You know what I mean? We've been through this one too many times before. If y'all are in the Houston area, just buckle down, stay safe. Hopefully by tomorrow afternoon or Wednesday at the latest, we're over this thing.
Yeah, man, I'm always working, man, no matter rain, sleet, or snow, man. I'm like the postman, always trying to deliver. I was out today hanging out with my man Scarface, H-Town legend, as well as Jeff Bagwell, another H-Town legend, and myself, another OG from the city of the H, South Park, Texas, man. Doing a little something with Scratch Golf, man. Our new golf series getting ready to drop on you guys. And I must tell you guys, it has 5 times the action. You got to check it out when you see your boy Booker T doing a thing because I'm taking the golf world by storm. So check out the photos on Twitter, and more importantly, when you notice it, just notice the form, notice the style, notice the profile. It's all PGA, baby. Posture, grip, and aim. Yes, that's what it's all about. But yeah, man. Even though right now I'm telling you, man, I've been on a whirlwind weekend, Stockton, California, Stockton Con, man. Big ups to my boy Mike. You know, the guy who put the con on, as well as everybody who was a part of it, got a chance to hang out with the NWO. Those guys are always, always cool. Got a chance to do a royal panel with Jerry the King Lawler. So that was cool as well. So, man, big ups to Stockton, California. Just got back last night, late on the plane, but I woke up early, man, to get my stuff done with Scratch. And Bagwell, man, big ups, man. Big ups to the brother. I just want to say, man, it was so cool hanging out with Jeff Bagwell, and hope to do a whole lot more with the brother. So, man, I'm rolling, man. Like I say, check out this golf series, man. It's going to be on like a steaming pot of neck bones. And I'm going to tell you, I hit a ball today in the rain. It had to have gone 300 yards carry. I'm just saying.
I mean, I think maybe a little wind from Tropical Storm Nicholas picked it up a little bit and kicked.
Well, at least I lost it in the rain at the 150 mark.
Can we just assume 300, 325, something like that?
We'll just round it off.
Yeah. Man, was Jeff Bagwell cool? He was a cool guy.
You know, man, he was so cool, man. He was so down to earth, and I don't think he knew what to expect from the beginning. So, you know how I am, man. I always got to warm you up a little bit, you know, before I serve you. You know, so no, it was so cool hanging out with him, and he just totally a big wrestling fan as well. So all about passing it on, working with the young people here in the city of Houston, you know, giving the knowledge that he bring to the game as far as baseball to these young guys. And the thing is, we compared it to what I'm doing today, man, with professional wrestling. And it's the same way, man. He say, man, these young kids. And I say, man, it's crazy. You know, for a young kid, you tell them, hey, man, you might learn a whole lot from someone like Roger Federer. And they go, man, you lost your man. Get out of here. You know, so.
Man.
This old guy, he doesn't know what he's talking about. His backhand slice, it was nothing back then. It was only 3 years ago. But that's another story. But yeah,
those who don't know history are doomed to repeat it. Jeff Bagwell, one of the, you know, when a couple years ago when Steph was really like getting busy and Steph was hitting all the threes, and if you went to a high school basketball game, there was not one 2-point shot made. Everybody was just jacking up threes, right? That was Steph's influence on the game. Bagwell was that influence for my generation when we were playing baseball in middle school, high school. Everybody wanted to bat like Jeff Bagwell. He had that real unique stance where he got real low.
You know what? We were talking about that stance right there. And I can't remember what the guy said, Tony Gwynn. He said Tony Gwynn, he asked Tony Gwynn for a baseball bat. And Tony Gwynn sent him a baseball bat and told him, he said, good luck, but never change your stance. And because he had been changing his stance from one stance to the next stance to another one. And then he finally found that one stance, and he actually demonstrated it to me today, which So ironic you bringing that up right
Yeah.
now. And it was a unique baseball stance.
Well, everybody, because at that moment, he was all-star. He was in the home run derby, and everyone was like, man, something must be to this stance. So if you went to a Little League game, literally every batter, all 9 batters were squatted like Jeff Bagwell with their long stance. And it didn't work for not a damn one of us.
Oh, my God, man. But no, man. We got a whole lot to talk about, man, coming up this weekend, man. Trilla went down big fights, man. Old line versus old lines, old school versus old school. It just was a whole night, damn it. By the end of it, them boys were ready to get to bed. And that might have been the problem. It was too late for some of these guys. The time clock had shifted. They was on the wrong side of 12. But I'm serious, man.
Even saying old line is being generous. You know what I mean? Like eldest line.
We got to talk about it. We got to talk about the Trilla action that went down this weekend. We got a lot of wrestling to talk about, of course, man. I mean, the wrestling world is blowing up stuff with Samoa Joe relinquishing the championship. Big E talking about cashing in tonight. I don't know what he's thinking about the free agency. It's like open season. Right now, the Adam Cole thing, man, is still smoldering. You like that, don't you?
I like it.
It's still smoldering in the air. So we might want to touch on that right there, as well as the Kenny Omega PWI #1 wrestler in the world. Man, I'm gonna tell you right now, I know how that feels. Some of my guys actually made the list at Reality Wrestling, and they are like over the top. You know what I mean? I think somebody said they breaking 100 next year. I think that was Brian Keith or somebody. I'm breaking 100 next year.
I think Brian Keith was 251. I think
these guys, so definitely, as well as Olympic gold medalist Gable Stevenson. Signing with the WWE. We got to talk about that, man. But this Trilla thing, man, this Trilla went down this weekend. Oscar De La Hoya was supposed to be inside the square circle with Anderson Silva, and I wish it would have went down like that. I wish that would have been the fight, opposed to the fight that we actually got a chance to see, which was Evander Holyfield stepping in on late notice to take on Anderson the Spider Silva. And,
Vitor. He fought Vitor Belfort. Tito and Anderson fought.
Look, I told you I'm a little
sleep.
off here.
That's that sleep.
Sleep deprived. That's what it is. It's like a pilot, getting in the plane. You don't want that, man. You don't want that to happen. But now, man, Vitor versus Evander Holyfield. What did you think about that fight? First of all, man. I mean, what do you think about these old guys coming back well past their prime? Now, I always say it, you know what I mean? How you gonna tell a man that he can't take care of his family? All right. And right now, I would say Evander Holyfield, he's not the richest boxer in the world. I'm sure he's a guy like everybody else in America. We all need money. Okay. That's just something that don't go. I don't care how much money you got. You still want it. Okay, let's just say it's not a need for money. It's just a want. Maybe it's a want for one to be in the limelight just one more time, just to get that final, that roar one more time, that chant, hearing your name called one more time. I don't know, but what do you think about guys like Evander Holyfield stepping back inside? I mean, you was real high on Mike Tyson doing it.
I was.
So let's hear your points.
This one was sad. It was a sad thing to watch. I mean, Mike, at least he went out there and they did 8 rounds, right? Now, was it the prettiest 8 rounds of boxing I've ever seen? No. Did it look like Snoop Dogg characterized it? 2 of your uncles going at it in the cookout? Yeah, sure. This one was just sad on all accounts.
You know what? You said it was sad.
It was.
We got to really delve into this as far as why do you think it was so sad? But before we do that, we got to take a break. Stick around, guys. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
Independent wrestling is full of charismatic persona, incredible athleticism,
shooting star, press from pressure, cover,
and at times, complete chaos.
Got attention. Don't do it, Will. Oh my gosh! Senton bomb through the table.
This is where the young guys, The young girls come today to pay their dues, to learn the craft, to start the journey to become the next wrestling superstar. I'm WWE Hall of Famer Booker T, and these are the Indies. Can you dig it, sucker?
Shup! Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame. And let's get right back into it, man. Evander Holyfield, Vitor Belfort, Trilla went down this weekend. That boy, I'm going to tell you, man, that boy 50 Cent put on some weight, but that's another story.
Fellow Houstonian 50 Cent, by the way.
Man, I got to get that boy in the gym, man. I got to get him. And the thing is, 50 used to be in great shape. I mean, he was jacked. Maybe he's jacked underneath the clothes he was wearing, but the brother looked like he put on some weight. I'm just saying we need to talk, 50. I got a gym right there, a little small gym there in Texas City, Texas. I'd love to take you through the ropes and show you what it's all about. But talk to me, man, about this fight.
You know, I will say, similar to that of Mike Tyson, I was a little excited just because it was cool. It was like, oh man, Evander Holyfield's going to fight. Now, this one wasn't promoted anywhere near as well as the Mike Tyson Roy Jones fight. It was a last minute replacement. We thought we were going to see the Golden Boy back in action. 58 years old is a lot different than 50 years old, right?
Did they say 56 or 58?
58.
58? Yeah.
That's 2 years off 60. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a little too close to that threshold to be out there boxing, but go ahead.
And to add a cherry on top of that, in less than 30 days, he will be 59, right? I mean, that's pretty close to being 60 years of age. And a 60-year-old man, no matter how incredible he was as a cruiserweight and then as a heavyweight, and no matter how dominant he was and how much abuse Evander Holyfield could take, how tough he was, doesn't matter. That was 30 years ago.
Yeah.
That was 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And to throw him into a fight with a short training camp, for one, and to put him in there, even against a guy like Vitor Belfort, who isn't a boxer, a traditional boxer, he's a fighter, but not a traditional boxer, it was putting him in danger. At the end of the day, is how I felt. And whatever commission in Florida, because we know they had to go to Florida. They had to go to Florida with this one. You know what I'm saying? Hey, if you want something done that should be technically illegal, just go to Florida. You know what I mean?
What about Texas?
We would have been the next spot. We would have been the next phone call. If DeSantis said nah, they're like, hey, Abbott, you got some room down there in Houston? We would have been next. But whatever commission put it on should really, whoever's in charge of making those decisions needs to resign. And I mean that. I'm not even using hyperbole at this point. It could have put him at such a risk at 59 years old. This isn't pro wrestling, which, all due respect, it's not pro wrestling where you can smoke and mirror it a little bit. So Terry Funk can be in his 70s and go out there, you know. I'm not saying he should be, but I'm saying you can smoke and mirror it. But at the age of 60 years old, to be taking shots without headgear to the head when you've already had generations and decades of damage done to you, it just wasn't good. And it was sad to watch. It was really sad to watch.
You know, it reminded me of Apollo Creed and the Russian.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where it was an exhibition. You know, there is no exhibition. You know what I'm saying? The brother wanted to go out there and fight one more time, and he wanted to do it like he did it, you know, back in the old days. And then he get in the ring and he just bounced around the ring just a little bit and realized the old legs just aren't there anymore. The one shot that told a big tale in that fight was the body shot that he took, and then he went back and he would look down like he had slipped on something. because he was off balance from that shot, and he was trying to make people look like, oh, it's like, you almost trip and fall, and then you come up and pull a jumper. You know what I mean? And go, I did that on purpose. It was one of them type of deals, and then from that point on, Vitor jumped on him, and it was no taking. It was like a pit bull, man. Pit bull on a little bitty schnitzel or something like that, and he just ate Holyfield alive. You know what was so striking? It was within inside 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Never would have imagined Vitor Belfort. I don't care if Holyfield was 70 years old. Vitor stopping him inside 2 minutes. Just goes to show you, man. Generations, man, evolution. Guys, don't think you can go out there and do it like you did 30 years ago. It just ain't gonna happen, man. Like you say, Mike Tyson, Roy Jones, that fight was it was an okay fight, but still, you can see it was not the Mike Tyson of old. It was nowhere near the Roy Jones with the quickness and elusiveness of old. It was just two guys out there entertaining us. But and that's the thing. I got a chance to talk to Mike Jackson about that, this entertainment style of fighting now. And, is this going to be the wave of the future? Is this something going to be around for a long time? He seemed to think, yeah, it's going to be around for a long time. Is it something that's hurting the game of boxing? Is it hurting the game of MMA with, both, MMA fighters, boxers, ex-boxers, both are getting involved with something. Is it going to hurt their sport? Because it's all going to come down, as far as I'm concerned, just the way I could be wrong. It's all going to come down to, man, these guys getting paid at the end of the day. And I think once that happened, championships, they pretty much go out of the window.
Yeah, well, sure. They want the money, right? If these entertainment fights draw more money, people are obviously going to want to gravitate to that. I've lost track of the list of people who've called out one of the Paul brothers, right? I mean, I've lost track. After every fight on Triller, they all said, really what I think the people want to see, Tito Ortiz, after he gets his ass knocked out, is in the post-fight press conference. Really what people want to see is me versus Logan. That's the real fight. Vitor Belfort. Me and Logan Paul should really scrap. Now that should be the next. It's like, guys, I don't agree with Mike Jackson, although he's a smart combat sports fan. I don't think that these are going to last much longer because every one of them is less entertaining than the last and more of an embarrassment than the last, in my opinion. I mean, the Tyron Woodley fight was better than I expected, I will say, but the Ben Askren fight was embarrassing, right? The Mike Tyson Roy Jones one was okay. This fight was just, both of these fights. I mean, especially Evander Holyfield. It was just. Who would buy that? Why would you spend your money on that again? Right? It just is such a 3-ring circus. It's not even an appealing 3-ring circus. It's kind of like I'm trying to find the words to really describe how I felt about it because I was a little put off by the entire thing. I don't think that we're going to have too many more Triller fight clubs. I don't know what else there is for them to promote.
Well, I mean, right now,
and how many times are people going to pay for it?
Okay, tell me this here. As bad as it was, as far as that fight goes for Evander Holyfield, you telling me you would not pay for a Mike Tyson Holyfield rematch?
No, I would not. Would I want to see what happened from it? Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the thing right there. You give me a click, you bought in.
No, look, I'm interested in that fight the same way I was interested 3 weeks ago watching people climb up milk cartons. I don't know if you saw that. People were climbing all over milk cartons and falling. Did I watch it in passing? Sure. Did it catch my interest for 30 seconds? Maybe. But I'm not going to pay my money to watch people run up milk cartons, and I'm not going to pay money for people in their late or mid-50s to throw hands and try to hurt one another. I have zero interest. I will say, Anderson looked great.
Yeah, it's Anderson, Tito. What do you think about that? Tito looked like he was in slow motion. He looked like he was in slow motion throwing punches. It was like he was in there and thought he was in there with a punching bag and just throwing punches without any thought process that there might be some punches coming back at me at some point in time. What the hell is he thinking? You know, so it was
I think you know that the trailer for the new Matrix movie just dropped, Matrix 4. I think Tito thought he was Neo. You know, he was seeing everything come.
That's exactly what it was. It was like, what the hell is he thinking? Because he was just standing straight up, throwing punches, and I'm like, what the hell is going? Oh my God! But
Tito, look, I respect him for what he did for the sport of MMA. Without a Tito Ortiz, the UFC wouldn't be what it is today. Without that rivalry of him versus Chuck Liddell going into that first season, The Ultimate Fighter, we wouldn't have the UFC as we know it today. So I give him massive props for that. But can we stop the illusion that Tito has even been a semblance of a decent fighter in the last 10 years? I don't know why people are still getting up to watch this guy fight.
You
him versus...
You know why? Because people still love Tito Ortiz. He still got his fan base.
Do they?
Look, I was just in Stockton over the weekend. Okay, Stockton bad boy. Who is that? Tito Ortiz, right?
No, he's a Huntington Beach bad boy.
Oh, he's the Stockton bad boy.
Stockton bad boy is the Diaz.
Oh,
Nathan
right.
Diaz.
Well, I thought
that's sleep.
We'll upstairs sleep.
You need sleep.
Now the thing is, look here, they still like them in Stockton. You know, so, and they was talking about, man, that boy is gonna do something. But no, my thing is this, man. My thing is this: people still want to see guys like that go out there and fight. And if you're a fighter, you're gonna fight to the end, man. If somebody's gonna pay you to go out there and fight, you're gonna go out there and do it. Now given Evander Holyfield, they probably told him, look, man, we'll give you $2 million. All right, $2 million. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, $2 million, by the way those guys were talking, is like, you know, going down and picking up a burger at, you know, the In-N-Out or something like that. That's the way it's in, because these guys talking about 25 million, take it all. You know what I mean? No, let's rise it, let's make it 30 million. And they look like just some guys that just hanging out in the bar. So they obviously got money, you know, to throw away.
Yeah.
So if it's somebody out there, if it's a promoter out there throwing away money like that, there's no reason why guys like Evander Holyfield, guys like Mike Tyson, Ortiz, you know, Silva should not be getting a piece of that pie. That's just the way I see it, man. That's just the way I see it. Because, like you said, how long is this money train going to last? We better get it while it's hot. Guys, stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute. I'm going to get a nap.
This is Booker T World Gym Arena in Texas City, the home to the Reality of Wrestling Training Center. It's a 20,000 square foot facility with more than 50 full-time students and wrestlers from around the world. Inside the World Gym Arena sits a 9,000 square foot venue set up for weekly shows.
From on top, 1-2 moonsault.
Where our students showcase their skills in front of a live audience.
What he's done here is awesome. He's created opportunity, and he's creating great talent, as you guys well know.
In the back, a full weight room.
6 up.
Complete with state-of-the-art equipment and personal trainers.
There you go. Two more.
A full staff and office personnel.
One more.
Running the day-to-day operation. We have interview sets for TV production, promo classes, quarterly combines. We evaluate progression and team building. Referees, commentators, ring announcers, and live television production. At the World Gym Arena, we don't just teach you how to become a professional wrestler, but an elite sports entertainer. This is Reality of Wrestling.
Hey guys, we're back in the Hall of Fame. Just want to congratulate my girl Roxy for becoming the first ROH Women's Champion. Big match with Miranda LSA, the Lucha Baddie. Okay. Talk to me about the Lucha Baddie. Yeah, man. Two of my girls started at Reality Wrestling. Roxy, it seemed like she was just there, started yesterday, and now she's, the ROH champion. She was the youngest female diamond star in Reality of Wrestling.
And longest reigning.
It's just amazing her rise. It's just been so. It's been so. It seemed like just bang a rocket, putting a rocket on the center straight to the moon, and she's handling it very well. So I just want to say, just keep your head on straight, keep doing what you do, and representing the reality of wrestling, guys. If you want to be a part of Reality of Wrestling, just go to realityofwrestling.com. We got so many guys out there right now that's getting signed, getting picked up, and I just want to congratulate all those guys for just stepping up and working so hard. Blake Cortez, he's going to be making his way to the combine down there in Florida pretty soon. So big ups to Blake as well. So man, come on down, be a part of the road, man. The road is on the go. Let's talk a little wrestling, man. Let's talk about Samoa Joe relinquished the NXT championship due to injury. I don't know. One thing about Samoa Joe, he's always been talent. But you look at a guy like Samoa Joe as well, and he's not a spring chicken or anything like that. Joe has been out there quite some time, beating up his body. I'm sure just the time during the commentary, I wouldn't say, man, it was a pleasant thing as far as being at the table from a perspective to being away from the ring. But that break, you say, man, my body's feeling pretty good. My body's feeling pretty good, man. And then you say, man, I'm ready to get back in. And then you get back in, and it only takes one time, boom, and something pop. And Joe, like I say, he's a guy that's been doing this for a long time. So that is something, to be expected from my perspective, a guy that's been in the ring doing it. Definitely not a thing that I wish on anybody getting injured. One thing about this business, we can work hurt all day long, and we do. But working injured is something totally different. So hopefully Samoa Joe will get himself back on track and get himself back in the business. Hopefully in the ring, if not, back to the table.
Oh, what do you think, though, with NXT's pending rebrand coming here soon, is this good or bad for that? And the reason I ask is, your normal gut would say, well, it's bad for it. But from a television perspective, if you're relaunching something, right, isn't it kind of a cool appeal to tune in tonight to see who the new NXT champion is going to be? Or you can kind of promote a tournament to keep interest and engagement up over the next several weeks in order to crown that new champion. And then whenever that new champion is crowned, Joe comes back and he's like, I want to take back what's mine. There's like some built-in story there that could hook some people for this new NXT. So my question, is it a good thing or bad thing for this NXT rebrand for Joe to go out?
Well, it's not a good thing when anybody is announced, that they're going to be on the shelf for indefinite, period of time. We don't know when Joe's going to be back.
Right.
And that right there is not something you want to be putting in anybody's head that, man, this guy's injury prone. He just came back from an injury. Well, it's just injured, last year. So I don't think that's the seed you want to be planting in anybody's head as far as an angle go. If so, let's just say this. It's not the way that I would go. And someone like Samoa Joe, just coming back and something like that happening, boom. It's definitely one of those things to where you say, man, is this it? You start thinking to yourself, is this it? This is not an angle or anything like that, man. I'm injured, I'm hurt. And I'm gonna tell you right now, when the medical doctors start telling you, hey, you can't go, and the decision is taken out of your hand, that's when things start changing. That's when you start wearing it a little bit and start wondering, is this the end? You know what I mean? So I'm just wondering for Joe, there again, is this it for Samoa Joe? Because this is not the first time Joe has gotten hurt to the point to where he's been out for quite some time, and now here we go again. Me personally, I don't know what the injury is, but I do know it's not good at all. But for the new branding of NXT, it could be a one of those things to where you can, make chicken salad out of chicken, whatever. I can't remember the other part. And have some kind of tournament. A new champion will be crowned, and that's where the polling has to start. You have to start doing your work as far as what do the fans want? What do the fans want to see here? So I think it's a moment that if you could use it, take it and take advantage of it.
Yeah, I agree with you. It just sucks that he just came back and went down after the angle with Karrion Kross.
He's finished.
Dog, why do you say that about every wrestler who gets hurt? He's done. I don't know how many times I heard Xavier Woods.
I just wanted to put that out there because I know they want something. They want some.
They want a headline.
They want something. They want a headline. So I'm gonna give you a headline. Samoa Joe, he's finished. He's done.
It made me laugh. It made me laugh over the weekend, and because you know how these sites can be. I saw a site pick up two sites pick up the same clip, the same exact clip of something you were talking about Adam Cole, right? And the headlines for one of them said, Booker T thinks Adam Cole should have gone to Japan, made mistake going to AEW. The other headline said, Adam Cole can change the game for AEW. Great decision, right? Same clip. How do you get two headlines like that? It's like I was watching CNN and Fox at the same time, talking about the same story. I never
said it would be a bad decision. I said, it might help his career from a negotiating perspective. He went to Japan. But I also said nobody wants to go to Japan if they can get a job here in the United States.
U.S.
And not have to go anywhere. I've said that, but so many people, they want to take my stuff and they want to Twitter. We got super chats.
We do.
Let's do our business. Super chat.
Aaron, what's up, Aaron? I've always wondered this. The Harlem Heat theme, was it you or Stevie Ray doing the lyrics at the beginning? Was he talking about the yes?
It was neither one of us. If you go back and do some history on that song, man, it's gonna blow your mind, just like the little goblin sound you hear. That was a comedian talking. Yeah, that's about a comedian, blowing in somebody's behind.
The thing is, he's not making this up. I think Sean Ross Sapp over at Fightful.com broke down where the song came from.
I'm serious. So it's neither one of us doing any of the lyrics. The only thing I did was "Can you dig it, sucker?" That was it. As far as any form of being a part of the lyrics in that song, but it is cool. It is a cool song. It's very, very, very catchy. Very catchy.
Classic. It's a classic. We got another
super chat
from GQW. Do you feel like WWE needs more gimmicks for their wrestlers to be a bit more successful? Because I think that's what made the Attitude Era successful.
No, I don't. What made the Attitude Era successful was guys coming out and making the fans jump. Everybody had their, core fans that came there to see them. No matter who it was, we talk about Rikishi, but Rikishi and, Too Cool, those guys, they had, flair, they had flavor. Every guy that walked out of the curtain, like I always talk about Val Venus. Val Venus had, if you go back and just look at the camera shots when Val Venus came out, half of the ladies came to see Val, he was a big part of the draw for that community. Everybody, The Rock, everybody had their fans back in the day, and I just think that's what's different. I don't think I think the day of the gimmick is gone. Okay, today of the gimmick wrestler, boy, we coming out and we're make believe, and the reason I believe that. I feel like the NWO changed the name of the game as far as gimmicks opposed to real guys. Can you imagine being Glacier on the same show as the NWO?
It must have sucked some days.
It must have sucked really, really bad to have to go out and
Mortis.
Exactly. So it's hard to, be those characters and wear those costumes and think that you're gonna go out there and get over with the regular guy at the bar. And that guy watch you and like you. unlike a Stone Cold Steve Austin. You see a guy like that, you say, man, that guy's cool, man. I like this dude, man. He's just like us, you know. And let's go see Steve Austin tonight. You know, may not go to see anybody else on the card, but that group is going to go see Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's just my point.
Yeah, I mean, the gimmick, like when I hear that term, I think of those really bad run of gimmicks in the 1990s of like Mantar and the Goon and Duke the Dumpster Drosy and Doink. Even though Doink was cool, Doink the Clown, I don't think you could really work that today, right? You couldn't work Doink.
Yeah.
And I don't think that would add any more interest. If anything, I think it would make people turn off the television quicker.
Yeah. That's my opinion. I could be wrong. We got a couple more super chats. Let's take one before we go to that next break.
Okay, here we go. This is from B-Star.
Super chat.
Do you think Bob Holly should be in the WWE Hall of Fame?
You know, I think Bob Holly is going to find his place inside the WWE Hall of Fame one day. He's definitely a guy that, been there and put in work. Sparky Plug. To go from Sparky Plug to Hardcore Holly, that right there is a leap in itself. But I think
when the promo, I think it was Thurman was supposed to be his first name. My name is Thurman Plug, but people call me Sparky.
That right there, just making that leap, he should be in the Hall of Fame alone. You gotta stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, guys. Booker T along with my man Brad Gilmer, talking about a little wrestling right now. Yeah, man. We had a couple of super. I think we got one more, right? Let's take that super chat.
Yeah, we got a couple here, so let me pull up these. But I do agree with you real quick about Bob Holly. I think that his body of work speaks for itself. Where is that one that I left off on?
Just
here?
The ass whooping he gave Rene Dupree. He should get it. I'm just playing. I know people are gonna want to pick that up. I'm just playing, guys. This is jokes,
man. But remember Daniel Pewter in the Royal Rumble? Whew.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah.
I hate to have been that guy. Said, "Oh yeah, you want to earn that $1 million, kid? Can't just win that competition and walk out with that."
Oh man!
All right, here we go. Here's our next
super chat.
Shine bright. Maybe NXT can use Samoa Joe in segments and skits, such as the one that Booker and Stone Cold did, that are still legendary to this day. Oh, so they're saying, like, why he's on the shelf? Should you still utilize him on the show?
I mean, you can, of course, you can still utilize someone like Samoa Joe. I mean, just his name, his star power alone is gonna make people tune in. A lot of people just like Joe, just because he's a good guy. He's a cool dude. So he's always gonna have some star appeal and some, marketability to be able to use. So my thing is this: I'm not gonna, throw Joe out to the pasture or anything like that. But I'm just wondering, how much left is left on the old bump card. That's the thing with this business, man. I mean, some guys' bump card, lasts like Ric Flair's. It's unlimited bumps. So
yeah.
Some guys, boom, let's cash out a little bit earlier. And it's just according to, your your body makeup. So I want to see Joe get back in the ring and do his thing. But I'm gonna tell you right now, you know, out of the ring, just being away from the ring, you know, that's your worst enemy. You know, time off away from the ring. I mean, not being able to get in there and get those repetitions in, letting your body absorb that shock, your body heal up. That's a foreign feeling to a professional wrestler when his body heal and he starts feeling good. That's the worst thing for a professional wrestler that could happen. So there again, it sounds stupid, but it is. So hopefully he'll get himself back on track.
All right, our next super chat comes from Cam J, who says, "Book, I'm just waiting on the news that Vince buys AEW and he'll have the last laugh at the end."
Hey man, never say never. I'm not saying that could ever, wouldn't happen or anything like that. And I'm not going to say it is going to happen. And you might be waiting a long time, to get, because with WCW, guys was waiting 12 years for Vince McMahon to buy WCW. He finally did, but it was a long battle. It was a long war. It was a lot of bodies, left, a lot of casualties of war. As far as that goes. So as well as when he did buy it, there was even more casualties of war. Guys never wrestled in the business from a big time perspective ever again after WCW doors closed down. And me personally, I'm not one of these guys that's gonna be talking about, man, I wish these guys go out of the business or anything like that, because every guy that have a job in this business is a good thing. And one thing about WWE, they cannot supply every wrestler out there that wants to do this. So for me, it's all about guys being able to live out that dream, do it, 100% at the highest level, and be able to look back on the legacy, and hopefully you fans got to win more than anybody, because you got a chance to see two awesome companies at the same time, just like it was back in the day. WCW, WWF, WWE. It was two awesome wrestling companies that you guys got a chance to see. Even though we made it a war, and the only reason it was a war because it was that damn good. So guys, just enjoy the ride.
I'm sure there was never a moment during your WCW career until it got to the end that you thought that it was even a possibility that Vince McMahon would be the owner of WCW. I'll never forget that promo that he cut when y'all did the simulcast, I think it was, for the last Nitro, or maybe it was the week before. I can't remember when it was, but when he just did that over-the-top Vince, the way you kill your competition, is you grab it by the throat and you squeeze the life out of it. I'm like, good God in heaven. Yeah. But you never know what's going to happen in this crazy world of wrestling. I really never thought there would be a legit number two. I thought TNA was cool, but you saw it wasn't even like it was the default number two, but it wasn't, it wasn't the number two. Do you know what I mean?
Well, it was number two. It was on its way to being an established number two.
Yes.
And the thing is, it never stuck to the point to where we really got a chance to see the real combat go down. At one point we were getting really, really, really close to seeing that. And I tell you, and I'm not saying that was because of me or anything like that. That was before I ever went to TNA. Those guys were really doing some good work, and I was like, man, this is different. And man, are they going to sustain? Are they going to move to the next level? Because the six-sided ring for me was, I tell you, I wish I had thought of it. Especially for this young group of guys that want to do all of this high flying. And I'm seeing the way of the world of wrestling is kind of gravitating towards that way. I was like, man, I wish that was me. I wish I'd have thought of that. But of course, they lost focus. And we saw WWE pretty much knock them out of the water. And then AEW came along. Like yourself, I never thought we would see another battle like we're seeing right now. Not in my lifetime anyway. But it just goes to show you, man, anything's possible. And right now, all we got to do is just hang on, man. Just hang on. What do you think? Go ahead.
I just wanted to show you this real quick. It's just so we can have a good laugh before we get into our next our next segment. And again, guys, if you want to have your comment or question read and answered on the show, make sure you super chat that in for us. You can only do super chats through YouTube, but this is just hilarious to me. Check this out, Book.
I'm ready to go racing. I'm ready to do it. Hello, everybody. My name is Thurman Plug, but my friends, they call me Sparky. You call me Sparky too. I'm so excited about being here, but do you know what I like most about being here? Is when I'm strapped in the seat of that race car and I'm flying down that straightaway and they drop that green flag, I'll pedal to the metal. Just like when I walk down that aisle, when I get in the ring, and when they ring that bell, I'm going to be wide open, pedal to the metal.
Put his ass in the Hall of Fame just for that alone.
Just for that promo alone. I'm going to be pedal to the metal. You can call me Sparky.
That's what I'm saying, man. The dude, he put in work. He went, like I said, to make that transformation from that guy to Hardcore Holly and last as long as he did in the WWE. The guy had a Hall of Fame career. As far as I'm concerned, that's just me. Let's talk about it. Big E said earlier today that he's going to be cashing in the Money in the Bank tonight on Monday Night Raw. What do you think about that? Do you think that's a good idea?
Well, if it's a good idea or not, we'll have to see what happens on Raw. I think it's a good idea from this perspective. Last week, I don't know if you saw, AEW for the first time beat WWE in the 18-49 demo rating. They had a higher rating in that demo than Raw did. Dynamite did than Raw. To me, this is an obvious, hey, you know what? That was cute. We're not going to let it happen twice in a row. We're going to put a WWE title match on the show and have Big E announce in advance he's cashing in, right? Now, whether Big E actually cashes in or not, I have my doubts about that. But it's going to make me tune in. I want to see what's going to happen, right? Yeah. And I think and here's the thing. Monday Night Football is back this week too. So you got to stack the show a little bit for what happened last week and for the first week of Monday Night Football. It makes sense to me. And here's the other thing I thought of. Big E going up against, let's say, Bobby, who's currently WWE champion. It does track storyline wise due to Bobby just getting out of that angle with the New Day. You can you can draw a point A to point B. It's not random and out of nowhere. I don't know. What do you think?
Hey man, if I got Money in the Bank, I'm cashing in every week. At least I'm saying that. You know what I mean? I'm putting it on Twitter every week. I'm cashing in tonight. I'm cashing in this week. No matter what. Pay-per-view. I'm cashing in. So just to keep people on their toes, I can see that. We're living in a different age right now as far as social media and trying to work the fans into, a frenzy to tune in, man. Tune in. And like you say, the demographic, 1835, you said 1835?
18 to 49 or 18 to 35, one of the two.
Okay. All right. That right there, like I said last week, we got to strap it up. It's time to get ready for a fight. When you get ready for a fight, you put your mouth guard in. You know what I mean? You want to get a nice sheen, get sweaty before the bell ring, and then more importantly, you want to come out swinging. You want to come out swinging to knock your opponent out. And I get it. That's what AEW is trying to do, man. They're throwing everything out, man. They're throwing everything against the wall, and we're going to see exactly what sticks. We bringing in all the. I remember when they did the invasion angle, and I'm not talking about the invasion angle of WCW for WWF or WWE. I'm talking about vice versa. When WWE invaded WCW, they came in with the tank, and I'm gonna tell you right now, that's when shots really started getting fired. That's when things really got heated up. I mean, it was so heated to the point to where WCW, they closed the door just so they wouldn't come in. It was scared. It was like, we can't have. I mean, it was a chaos. So I'm like this here, man. It's time to bring the tank out. Okay, it's time to bring out the shield and the armor gear. All right, it's time to bring out, the black boots and jeans and start knocking on doors. All right, and banging on doors and making people a little bit uncomfortable. And the thing is, I'm willing to step in and be a part of this war, but I need some soldiers behind me, all right? I'm calling on all soldiers right now, right here on this show. If anybody ready to go to war with me next Wednesday night, you let me know. Guys, stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
So the Young Bucks, I had heard about these guys, but I didn't know them or anything like that. And they had a WWE tryout. And these two guys, they were, hanging in the hallways. It seemed like they were, I don't know, they were kind of like off to themselves. I don't know. I don't know. It just felt funny. And I was getting ready to do I was doing commentating back then, and I had my jacket, laid over this, piece of equipment, and I walked by, and one of the Young Bucks was leaning on my jacket, and I was like, "Hey, bro, that's my jacket right there," and he goes, "Oh, okay," I got my jacket and I walked off, and I was like, I didn't realize it, but they were there for a tryout, and I was like, man, after I realized it, I said something on one of the podcasts or our show or something. These guys didn't even shake my hand, and then next thing you know, it was a big thing going around as far as me not shaking the Young Bucks' hand. And then they started doing a thing online to where, they wouldn't shake anybody's hand, and then, they had a thing with RVD, where they wouldn't shake RVD's hand. So I was like, man, you know what I mean? These guys are taking this thing to another level. Can't wait to see them. So I want to fight the Young Bucks. I want to get it to them.
You want to put hands on them.
I want to put hands on them.
Put those Fifth Ward beads on them.
Yeah. And we ended up running into each other at an independent show. And I'm still a little bit hot, And, so we end up talking and whatnot. And, we end up getting back around to what happened up in WWE as far as my jacket goes. And they go, bro, reason we didn't say anything to you, man, you're intimidating. Sucker.
Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, guys. Man, this rain is killing me. But I reinvigorated my PS4 that had stalled out on me, man. It's been down for like 3 months, and I couldn't figure out what was going on with it, man. It was a code coming up, it was on the safe mode screen. I was like, man, what's going on? I cannot get it off.
Super chat.
Sorry about that.
What's going on here? And I couldn't get it out of the safe mode, and so I was like, man, it's done. It's burnt out. So put it in the garage, and then I was just been like, I couldn't find another one. I mean, right now the PS4 is like sold out all over the place. So I said, man, I really want to get back into my Ghost of Tsushima, man. I'm missing out. Saw some new stuff come out on YouTube about Ghost, and I said, man, I gotta get back into it. So I went out in the garage, got the old PS4. It was literally just sitting on the concrete floor there for like 3 months. Picked it up, took it inside. I said, maybe if I plug it back in, it'll start working. Same code came up, right? Damn it! So I go to YouTube and punch in, safe mode screen, whatnot. And it tells me exactly what to do. And I fixed the PS4 in less than 5 minutes. It is back online.
Is it really?
Yeah, so I'm ready to get back into my Ghost of Tsushima. Only thing, it erased all my progress. I got to start all over from the beginning, all over again. But I'm excited. I'm excited to actually do that, because of the story of Ghost Tsushima. So, guys, if you haven't checked out the video game, check it out. It's one of the most awesome video games I ever had the experience of playing. But let's move on, man. Let's move on. What are we going on right now? Jonathan Coachman, he's been in the news talking about his last ride. Not last ride, his last run. That was
WWE.
the Undertaker, right? Last run in the WWE. What do you think about some of the comments that was made by Jonathan Coachman?
He didn't seem to be too pleased with the last time that he spent, I guess, time there in WWE. Said that it left a bad taste in his mouth, and so did pro wrestling as a whole. I know they brought Coach in, and I think if I have my memory correct, they brought Coach in to kind of fill in that commentary position that you filled in for a little while, right?
Yeah,
Because you
yeah.
came in and you were only supposed to be there for like a week,
I was supposed to be there for like 2 weeks.
2 weeks,
And it turned out to be, 18 months?
something like that, something like that. And then and then he takes over the return of coach. And to be quite frank, I think that he all those years in broadcasting kind of took away what made him good in pro wrestling. Because I think it's two different things. A broadcaster, you have to deliver the news, you have to, handle traffic, you have to make sure that you kind of leave your opinion out of it for the most part, and more so ask your expert panelists what they think about it. When Coach came back in, he was slot in the role of, hey, we want you to be the coach like you were before you left. And he kind of lost that, for lack of a better term, flavor to him of being that Jonathan Coachman. I remember being a kid and hating the coach. Like, I hated him. When I think one of the members of DX, and one time they like ran up to him in the urinal, and then McMahon, peed all over him. And that was like the height of my life at the moment. I was like, I hate Coach, and he got pissed on by Vince. This is great. Sounds like that may have happened a second time, but in a metaphorical sense.
Maybe a few times. Maybe a few times.
Because he's not pleased with how it went down. I just don't think that it was one of those square peg round hole things when he came back. He just didn't seem like he fit this time around. And then he did the pre-show panels with you for a while. Did you enjoy working with Coach?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
I know he didn't like Corey Graves. I see he had some pretty hot things to say, hot takes as far as Corey Graves go, and he didn't. It seemed like Corey Graves seemed like he didn't want him at the table. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if that's true or not. But it seemed like it's some real heat there. But I do know Corey's job is to be irritating sometime, and you got to have thick skin to be able to take some of the stuff Corey Graves threw at you. I know a couple of times I wanted to slap Corey Graves. But I knew it wasn't personal or anything like that, even to the point to where I created the story of, catching Corey Graves in Starbucks for, getting me fired, from my position, So, I don't know, man. It seemed like it was some real heat there, though, between Coachman, just by the way he was talking. As far as leaving the business and never, ever thinking he will ever return to the wrestling business. And that's strong words. Right there, when you say
it's very strong,
I am never returning to that business. So I don't know, man. I feel bad for Jonathan Coachman. Hopefully, he'll find something in his heart. Find his way back to wrestling.
Were you just kidding then when you said that you didn't like working with him?
You know what my thing was? I did not mind working with Jonathan Coachman.
Sure.
Sometimes, just say for instance, and I'm not trying to make headlines or anything like that, but
inevitably it's going to make headlines.
Well, I know that, but when you work with people, and from my perspective, when I worked with Renee Young on WWE Backstage, I went out of my way. I remember we was doing an interview with someone. I can't remember who we was doing it with, but I went out of my way to say, man, I'm really glad and honored to be a part of Renee Young's new show.
Right.
And I said that because I wanted to prop her up and make her feel good, and let her know, hey, you're the leader here, okay? All right, I'm following your lead. But I knew it was a team effort with Renee and I, and she always, looked at it like it was a team effort as well. Someone like Jonathan Coachman, he get the spot as the lead in that position as far as, doing traffic. And he may think that's his show. And I kind of butted heads with him a little bit from that perspective because, bro, this is not your show. This is not my show. This is their stuff, And until you can realize that, it might be a problem. And I think maybe the broadcast world of being, the lead on ESPN, and stuff like that, can give you that feeling that where, bro, if I'm the one that's doing the most talking, I'm the one. I'm running this, and it could be a problem. Yeah,
and the thing to go back to Corey is, you're not I learned this years ago in wrestling and in life. You're not always going to like the people you work with. You're just not. And guess what? When Vince McMahon wants to hire somebody to come in, do you think, like, for instance, when he was going to hire Coachman, do you think he called Corey Graves and called Booker T and called Renee Young and called whoever else and said, hey, guys, we're going to bring Coach in. Y'all okay with that? Yeah, is that going to be, you're going to be okay with that? No. Vince said, hey, Coach is coming back.
Bottom line.
Right?
He's taking your spot.
So whether you like him or not is irrelevant. Whether Coach liked them or not is irrelevant. You're not always going to like people that you work with, but you have to learn how to get along for the purposes of doing the show, right? And if it ever becomes a problem to where you're saying, well, I can't work with this person just because I don't like them, well, then you're not right for that part, in my opinion. You're just not right for that part. Okay, that's cool. We'll take you off. We're going to put somebody else in your position, just so you know that. Yeah. And that's the way I look at anything. There's been plenty of people I don't like that I have to work with.
It's a job.
It's a job.
Do your job. We got another super chat, man. Let's take that chat.
We do. Here is not trying to distract, but Culture Inc. got robbed on the 11th. Is there going to be a redo, or is this their last chance? Of course, talking about Culture Inc. had a shot at those brand new Reality Wrestling Tag Team Championships over this past weekend. TV audiences around the country will be seeing some of those shows here shortly. Do you think that we're going to see Culture Inc. back in a reality wrestling ring, Booker T?
You know, I watched that match. I was in Stockton, California for the Comic-Con, but I had my phone with me, and I was watching it on YouTube. And Culture Inc., that was the first time I got a chance to lay my eyes on those guys. But they impressed me. They impressed me so much. I told Kevin to see if we can offer those guys a reality wrestling contract so we can get those guys down here on a regular basis and really hone their craft, because I think they got something. When you hear somebody like Booker T say, I think these guys may have something, you might want to look into it. All right. It's like global warming, stuff burning up, floods around the world. You might want to get somebody to look into it. So call me, Culture Inc. We got a contract for you. We're a small company. I mean, but we work real hard for artists. Get with me. Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go. We have one more.
Super chat.
This is from Kid, who wants to know, can Booker T stream Ghost of Tsushima one day?
You know what? You know, as soon as I get back up and running, get my tech guy in, we'll definitely do some streaming of Ghost. Because I'm gonna tell you, man, I love the game, man, and the technical side of it, as far as what went into creating it. I always say the guy had to be a genius, man. Yeah, he's got to be, because this is something like I've never seen before from a video game perspective. So get into your Ghost, guys, and we'll definitely do some streaming.
Yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. By the way, have you seen that Shang-Chi movie yet?
No.
I think you would love it. I know you're a big martial arts fan.
I watched the new Mortal Kombat. I mean, the latest Mortal Kombat.
What'd you think of that one?
You know what, man? It was action personified from the beginning, man. It was actually, if you like action movies, you know what I mean. Yeah. It was really, really good. It was witty and funny at certain times, you know. So like Kano, he was definitely a character in the movie. So yeah. But
he was funny.
Yeah. But it was a really good movie. I liked it.
Yeah. So yeah, I know you like martial arts. I think you'd like the Shang-Chi movie. But though, to go back to pro wrestling, I know we're close to taking a break according to my clock, but there was something going around about Adam Cole that I wanted to get your feedback on. I guess maybe when we come back from break.
Yeah, let's take the break, man, and we'll come back and talk about Adam Cole. Guys, stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
And your question for the win. In The Insider, Al Pacino's character works on which TV show?
Is it 60 Minutes?
And your winner!
The Movie Trivia Schmodown, the most competitive movie trivia league in the world.
It's MMA or boxing. It's like you want to see the two best scrapping it out.
Vincent D'Onofrio.
2 points. Movie release.
Keeping it. Wow.
Danny DeVito.
That's correct. You mother. The rising sun. And your winner.
Championships, factions, the best in the world play here.
I'm ready to schmo down. Throw down with the schmo down.
Kevin! Good enough! Smith!
This is
why we play the Schmodown.
The professional sports league of movie trivia. This isn't bar trivia. This is the movie trivia Schmodown.
Sucker!
Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame. That was golf in the deck.
You all right? You gonna be okay?
Yeah, man. You know, man, just got back from Cali. But yeah, let's get back inside the Hall of Fame. Welcome back. Let's talk about what's going on here in the rest of the world. But super chat. We got super chat.
It was a super chat that said nothing. So I don't know if you had a mistake there or something, but make sure you super chat.
We had the kid on before, right?
Yeah. He's on all the time. He's one of our loyals.
Definitely.
We're one of our loyals. But we were talking about this Adam Cole thing, and here's the thing. I want to say this from the get-go. This is a rumor. It's not confirmed. No parties have said this is accurate. However, it is being reported that before Adam Cole was to leave WWE, he had one final meeting with the powers that be, and they had a big pitch for him, right? And his pitch to get him to stay and not sign elsewhere, like AEW, was they were going to bring him to the main roster, which, is what you want. If you're Adam Cole, you want to be on the big stage. But they were going to bring him to the roster, not in a official wrestling capacity, but as a manager for Keith Lee. And I think when Adam Cole heard that, he sent a text to Tony Khan saying, "You up?" because that's not if true, I don't know if it's true, it's just a rumor, so I want to report it as rumor. That would not have been an appealing offer for me if I was Adam Cole.
Right.
Knowing how good I am at doing business inside the square circle, I don't think I'd want to be a manager for Keith Lee. And that's no disrespect to Keith Lee. That's no disrespect to being a manager. All of which are noble professions. Look at Paul Heyman. He's had a Hall of Fame career just talking for other people, right? But I just don't think that that's Adam Cole's talents would have been best suited, in my opinion. Book.
Hey, man. Even if it's true, okay, let's take it and say it is true. And Adam Cole was offered that spot to be the manager of Keith Lee, move up to the main roster. Hey, man, we got a nice check for you, too. You ain't got to do no wrestling. All you got to do is talk. For some people, that will be very, very appealing. Some people would jump on that ASAP, like hotcakes, man, coming out of IHOP, man. You give me more. I'm talking about the all you can eat. But some people are willing to say, yeah, no, I'm going to bet on myself. I'm willing to, gamble here and throw it all on the line. And I understand that. I've been in that position before when I left WCW. When WCW was bought, I still had a contract, and I could have sat there and I could have made my money, and I could have been happy. But I said, man, I'm willing to take the buyout just to, make more money and keep this star train rolling, man, because I know who I am and I know what I can do, and I want to test myself. I want to work with the best wrestlers in the world, and if I have to sacrifice a little bit, that's what I'll do. I respect Adam Cole for saying, hey, man, I'm going to, go out on my own. I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to find my way as far as being the best in this business by any means necessary. Yeah, man, I can say nothing but big ups, nothing but respect for Adam Cole. If that was the case, it could be true. And if it was, like I say, did he make the right decision? That's for him. To say at the end of the day, me personally, I probably would have did the same thing.
Yeah, if true, it makes me question the decision making by whosever idea that was. I mean, it wouldn't make. I guess not question the decision making, but it just, to me, it's like if you want to keep somebody who you deem to be a high priority, giving them the second fiddle to another person,
Yeah, it's kind of hard though. I mean, you got to look at it from you know,
Well,
different perspectives. I'm talking about you got to look at from not just Adam Cole's perspective. You got to look at it from the company's perspective and
sure.
what direction are we going in? We're going direction. We're thinking about the bigger talent, and that equation right there is Keith Lee, right? Am I right or wrong?
Well, the physically bigger talent, yes.
Exactly what I'm talking about as far as fitting into the equation. Who fits into the equation?
If you're looking just for a bigger individual, Keith Lee is a bigger individual than Adam Cole.
Exactly my point. And so,
but okay,
I'm not saying anything you're saying is wrong or anything, but I'm just talking about for me and my company in the direction that we're going in. This is the vision I see, and the thing is, I understand if that's not the route you're willing to go, something that you're not willing to do. I get it. I understand that. But that's the route that we're going right now. Was the decision right or wrong? Did one party do the right thing or not? That's
this
debate.
Yeah, this whole thing is an opinion no matter what. But if true, do you remember when Jay Leno and Conan O'Brien were going through that whole thing over the Tonight Show? It was like a decade or more ago, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And NBC was like, well, we really want to keep you, Conan, right? Well, when they had the meeting with Conan, this to me would have been like, look, we got a great idea of how we can keep you. We want you to stay with the network. You're a proven talent. You're one of the best that we have. So we have a great idea. We're going to make you Jay Leno's sidekick on the Tonight Show. You know what I mean? It's like, what would Conan feel about that? Conan would be like, what? No, I just have my own show. I proved myself for several years. I'm one of the best that you have out there.
I get your point. I get it. And that's why I said Adam Cole was willing to risk it all. He was willing to put himself out there and say, "No, I think I could do this, my way, and still be successful." Did he make the right choice for him? I think so.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to sit here and say, one side was wrong, because I'm looking for something here. You wanting something. We're not meeting here in the middle. Let's go our separate ways. That's the way business normally has been done here in America since the beginning. That's the American way.
The dawn of time. We have a couple of super chats though, book, but I do agree with you. I think that Adam Cole probably made the best decision for him, and WWE pitched an idea that they thought worked with their vision, and they thought it might have been a way to keep Adam Cole. Whether it was the right choice for them or not, I don't know.
The thing is, we don't even know if that's true or not.
And we don't know if it's true. I mean, we're operating under the assumption that it is, and we don't know that to be until Adam Cole or Vince or whoever was in the meeting says it's true. Exactly. We don't know. We don't know. At best, it's secondhand. Because to my knowledge, it was a one-on-one meeting between Cole and Vince. So to my knowledge, unless one of those two guys said something to the reporters, it's all hearsay.
I know one damn thing. You want to know.
I do want to know. I do, of course. Don't you want to know?
It doesn't really. I don't care, man. It's not.
I'm curious.
My bucket list or anything like that.
It's not on my bucket list. I can die eventually one day not knowing the outcome of that meeting, but I am curious about it. Look, we have a super chat. Let's go before it gets away. This is
super chat.
Roland said, you guys mentioned a legit number 2. Was ECW in the 90s a legit number 3? Is ECW the greatest indie of all time? Does Raw aspire to be a legit number 3, or are you satisfied? So several questions within one question. I think ECW was a legit 3.
Yes, legitimate 3, no doubt. As far as ECW goes, they could have been a legitimate 2 if they just had the infrastructure and the paycheck, sure. The bank roll to actually bankroll that thing. But man, it would have the insurance, man, would have been like astronomical, for that group of characters that they had on that crew right there. Before reality wrestling, as far as us being a legitimate number 3, we're not looking to be, in that war or anything like that with, Impact Wrestling. I don't know where they are right now with AEW, WWE, ROH. I know they're somewhere hovering. And my thing is this: everybody that's doing this thing, they're pretty much doing it almost the same way or close. But reality wrestling, we want to do things a little bit different. We call ourselves, the flagship of Texas wrestling, but more importantly, we are the AAA of professional wrestling. We're the guys that, when you're trying to get to that next level, you want to come to reality of wrestling. You want to be polished. You want to be ready. Preparation is the only luck you're ever going to have. And to come through reality of wrestling, that is the one way you definitely know you're going to be prepared when it's time to go and get yourself in front of a television camera. It's so many young guys out there that want to be a part of professional wrestling that just don't know how. What is going to be my springboard? That's going to be reality of wrestling. AAA is not as big as MLB, but it's huge. And normally the guys, when they're missing something, where do they go? They go back to the AAA. Guys, to get called up, where do they get called up from? They get called up from the AAA. Reality of wrestling, we will be the AAA of professional wrestling all over the world.
I love it. I'm here for it. And I mean, a legit number 3. I like the idea of being a AAA. It makes not AAA the promotion, AAA the baseball.
Yeah, organization. Trying to be a little bit different, and we don't want to ever think that we are, WWE, and we never want anybody to look at our show like we're the WWE. I mean, we have the youngest roster, and we're going to try to continue to keep the youngest roster in professional wrestling. Even though all of our guys are getting older. They're getting older day by day, so we trying to get them up out of there.
I'll tell you what,
you possibly can.
I had the old man moment. On the show Saturday, I was talking to the people about. I was like, "Yeah, y'all remember when we ran that Humble Civic Center show? That's Summer Champions. That was awesome." And we were talking about it, and then they were all looking at me, and they're like, "Oh, I wasn't here. Yeah, I wasn't here either. I wasn't there. And I'm like, none of y'all were here for that? No. Have I gotten to this moment? Am I the old man now?
You're the old guy. Who's this old guy?
I'm 28, but I'm the old guy.
That's Brad.
No, I'm not even lying. I'm not going to put them out there. I'm not going to put them out there. But one of the boys came up to me on Saturday and called me Mr. Gilmore.
That's best.
And I felt old. Thank you so much, Mr. Gilmore. It's like, wait, hold on. Time out.
Back the hell up.
Time out. Whoa. No.
Oh man, it's crazy, man. This business is crazy, man. This business is crazy. But let's move on. Because we're running out of time.
Yes.
Kenny Omega was named number 1 PWI wrestling. What do you think about that? You think Kenny Omega best wrestler in the world?
It was between him and Roman, right? Roman was number 2. If I look at their last 365, who do I think had a better year? Personally, I think Roman Reigns. I think Kenny Omega would be my number 2 on that list. And there's nothing wrong. I mean, you could flip-flop them in either way. I don't think there's anything wrong being number 1 or number 2. But Roman, what he was able to do with his 365 is completely transform himself into a money-drawing heel. I think that Kenny Omega has had excellent matches. If you want to talk about who's a better technical wrestler in the ring and can do more impressive maneuvers, it's Kenny Omega every day of the week, twice on Sunday. If I'm looking at who had the better body of work, big-time matches, it's close. I mean, you could even 1A, 1B it, but I'd put Roman. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't want to throw myself into that dogfight right there because people are going to say I just chose one or the other for certain reasons or not.
Well, I will say this. Do you agree with those are the top 2 guys in the world? Roman and Kenny?
Yeah, no doubt. Kenny Omega is a guy that I always said, man, this guy's he's different. He's different than any other wrestler out there. His work style is something that makes you go, wow, this guy's good. He can literally go in so many different areas of the psychology game as well. So he's the full package. I mean, and he can work with anybody.
Yes.
And that right there, just let you know, for me, he's the real deal. He's the real deal. Never said anything negative towards this guy as far as his performance go. First time I saw him in Japan, came out with like this big pop gun. I was like, man, who the hell is this guy, man? And from that day on, I was all in. I was like, man, this guy's he's different. And then went out and performed at a very, very high level too. I mean, you always talk about guys being able to shift gears, that got that first, second, third gear. Man, this guy, boom, sometimes when he turn it on, it's like a rocket. So, yeah, he is definitely the guy. But Roman, there again, like you say, his body of work, everybody that worked with Roman, those guys become better workers. They're the best they have ever been that night when they're in the ring with Roman Reigns. So for me, definitely the two top guys in the top spot was chosen was correct. Yeah, definitely. But we got to get out.
And they're both the world champions. Real quick, Book. One last thing before we get out of here. Let's see. If Booker T had to manage one person, who would it be and why?
Man, if I had to manage one person, it would be I don't know, man. It would be Bobby. Probably Bobby. Not wanting to step on the toes of MVP or anything like that, but Bobby, I think I have certain special qualities that I could bring to the game, especially the suit game. My suit game is much more on top than MVP, but I ain't trying to throw no shade on MVP or anything like that. But I think Bobby would be a guy that I would have loved to stood next to, just because of the history Bobby and I have as well. A guy who had actually physically sat under the learning tree, getting the hell beat out of him. So yeah, that would have been the guy. But
all right,
we got to get up out of here, man. I want to thank you guys. I want to thank you guys for sticking out inside the Hall of Fame with me. We'll be back on Wednesday night. We got to get ready for some Monday night football here tonight, man. I'm ready. I'm hyped. Who playing tonight?
I don't even know.
I'm getting ready for Monday night. I don't even know who playing. But that's another story. But we appreciate you guys for stepping inside the Hall of Fame, getting your champagne wishes, caviar dreams. Brad, as always, man, we appreciate you. But right now, guys, adios, amigos.
Can you dig it, sucker?